Hey, can you hear me? Cool. Oh, cool. How'd I get a hat on? That's cool. Let's not find a face. Now that was funny. Why is that on? If I move over here, guys, you're going to be like, that's cool. All right, hold on. That's not my intent. I was going to try to be cool about this. Obviously, there's no way to be cool if that's happening. So, let me screw us up a bit. Turn up like this for 1 second. Rotate your device. You can't turn your phone while you're live. Well, obviously I can because I just turned it. What is going on? I'm the Blues Brothers. It's going to be funny. All right, what is all this stuff? No, this... There we go. That's cool. Okay, what I'm planning to do. Oh yeah, I'm Dale Thompson, and I'm live, and this is going to be me recording some vocals on top of vocals that I've already recorded for Perpetual Paranoia. I will tell you this, I've recorded a lot in the last 3 or 4 days. Voice is not 100%, so it should be quite interesting to see what comes out of there. So I'm going to, I've got, I don't know if you know what speakers being wired out of phase is, but anyway, my microphone should not pick up the music as I'm doing these vocals. So you're going to hear a live vocal, and then you'll actually hear the track as well. So what I'll do is, this is Perpetual Paranoia. The song is called I'm on Fire, and it's about the refining fire of God and the purifying and cleansing aspects of fire. You know, when you have when you take gold in its raw form coming out of the earth, it's full of impurities and it's full of whatever is of the earth, but it corrupts, it contaminates the gold. So what they have to do, they take the gold and they put it in a big pot, and it's into like hot, and what happens is this molten thing of heat and destruction, and what it does, it kind of tests the gold. So the gold drops to the bottom, and all the impurities go to the top. And a big skimmer comes by and removes all of the impurities, and what you have left is the gold. And that's what God's refining fire is, the fire of Malachi. It's a refining fire. It destroys, it consumes, but the gold comes out pure. And that's what happens in our lives as Christians, as we go through our lives, and God is putting the fire, putting us to the test. We'll all be salted by fire, you see. So that's the there's a bit of torment involved in that, huh? At times you don't know how you're going to get through it, but God is always there. So I'm going to play you part of this song. Now this is Perpetual Paranoia. Perpetual Paranoia is basically, that's all right, dogs will bark all the time. We capture them on our recordings, but thank goodness I'm just going to play you a piece. Let me know if you can hear this fine. So anyway, I'm going to turn this on, let you hear the song. I've already got a vocal on here, so we'll listen to this. you probably couldn't understand a word of that, but that's what I recorded just the other night. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to add a vocal here. Send forth your fiery judgments. Sometimes people pray that God takes things out of their life, but how will you ever grow if there's not something in your life that challenges you? Say, you know, take a tree, for instance. If you don't prune a tree now and then, which is tearing away and stripping and cutting and all of that and casting it away, how is the tree ever going to flourish? So anyway, let's listen to this again. This is not exactly how I record, because I never record standing, but Tiago said, hey, can you stand up when you do this? And so I put my big microphone right here, $100 mic, and all that. So cool. So let's see if I can hit this note. Now, like I said, it's I'm a bit burnt out because of all the recording I'm doing. So let's see. Okay, of course I didn't do it because I didn't go back far enough. That's the funny thing. Let's go back further. It's a bit odd standing and doing this.
Let the world set forth your fiery judgment!
Okay.
Set forth your fiery judgments!
Okay.
Set forth your fiery judgments!
That's terrible, man. Oh my gosh. Take a sip.
Send forth your fiery judgments!
My voice is all over the place right now. So, anyway, let's do it again.
Fiery judgments!
It's like, oh, the bush that doesn't burn! Very cool song, because when I was writing it, it was like, you know, the funny thing about that burning bush, like Moses out in the wilderness, desert, under the mountain, whatever. God appears to him in a burning bush, but the funny thing was, the bush was on fire, but it wasn't destroyed. You see, that's the funny thing about that bush. I don't know if you've ever thought about that, but God's fire is a divine fire. It's purifying fire. It's a righteous fire. It's a fair fire, you see. And that's what we're writing about here. I'll read you some of these lyrics, see what you think. It starts off, I'm on fire. It's stored up in my bones. A flaming sword of righteousness, divine embers below, devouring the hay, wood, and stubble, leaping the valleys. Just a small spark can burn the world. Send forth your fiery judgment. Great hailstones of talent wait. Let them fall as truth descending. Destroy man's wicked state. Oh, the bush that doesn't burn with the flaming leaves which are the suns. Hold that glow with no harm as the world stands dazzled from afar. I am dancing on the altar, the brimstone on your tongue. Man, I'm happy with those lyrics. That's good lyrics there. The funny thing with Perpetual is that we don't do like formulas. We're not like doing like in Bride, for instance. Troy and I, we do intro, we do verse chorus, maybe a bridge, verse chorus bridge solo, maybe a little turnaround part, third verse, and we chorus out. So there's a formula there that Troy and I have always followed, and it seems to always work. Whereas with Perpetual, I feel like when Tiago writes, man, he's just writing, and he's like, I'm throwing it in, man, it's aggressive, and it's in there, and it's heavy, and so what that does, that leaves me a lot of freedom. So some of the songs I don't even consider some of these choruses. I'll play you a little bit more of this. Because what I consider this is storytelling. Now, this song here, I'm on Fire, is on the fifth Perpetual Paranoia album. The third album is getting ready to be released this year, but this is actually going to come out on the fifth album. The new album is called Hellfest, and it's going to be pretty spectacular, and it's quite heavy like this as well. But I'll play you some more of this, and then I'll do a little bit of recording, and then we can talk some more about some of the lyrics. The sun burn, flaming leaves that glow with no harm, as the world stands dazzled from afar. Brimstone of your tongue, baptize me in the flame. Oh, that's a good note there. So what we want to do, we might want to do that note again, Furnace of Affliction. Affliction! Oh, that's a, wow. Okay, now that's pretty cool, because that's a note that I've been wanting to put in there. I don't know if it's a harmony, a third, a fifth. Well, I'm not a vocal coach, so I don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, but listen at that again. Listen at that cool note in there that I've accidentally stumbled on. I wanted to hit it. It's the last sustained note here. I'll show you another thing too. This is kind of funny, because what I can do is I can mute. If I mute the music, and I'll just let you hear the vocal by itself, which is kind of cool to hear.
Sitting on a hill, shot of flight, transfiguration. Clearly concentrate, burn until my purpose is the refining blaze, purify the cold dark earth. I am everlasting, unquenchable, judgment unto victory.
So anyway, that's what it sounds like without the thrashy stuff in there. Now, when I say thrash, I think Tiago is writing thrash. There's certain bands in thrash music that I have despised over the years in the secular world. I won't start naming names, but I thought some bands were absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. I actually saw a couple of bands live once that people put on the top of the heap of, oh, this is a world-class thrash band. They sucked. And, yeah, I said suck. And the crazy thing is people were like, wow, wow, wow. And I'm like, no, they're not that good. Matter of fact, they're terrible. But anyway, so when Tiago said, let's do some of this thrashy stuff, I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do with it. So what I do with it is something different. I put my own Dale spin on it, see. I'm not going to do that stupid singing thing that they do, because I can actually sing, and I actually have a halfway decent vocal. And so I try to put melody to the thrashy stuff. So whether you like it or not, I do what I do. I am what I am. I cannot apologize. So anyway, you want to go to the next part? Cool. I don't know where we're at. okay, like I was talking before, I don't usually with a Perpetual Paranoia, I don't normally do choruses. This is as close to a chorus as we're going to get. So what I'll do is I'm going to play you only the I'll play you only the vocal. Okay, now I'll play that same part with the music to show you how it works in. Okay, lost my place. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let it play until I can catch up on the lyric page. A lot of lyrics here. So that's the bad thing about not writing a chorus and doing it over and 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 over again, is that you have to write a lot of verses. So hold on. This is cool. It's like.
Well, things new! Well, things new! Call the fire on your head!
Okay, now that's Tiego's solo there, so I don't know if that's a finished solo or if he's going to add to it. So I'm not going to play that for you because I don't know how he'd feel about it because he's probably going to do something else. So let's go to the next part. All things new. Oh, I'm way down here. So we're near the end of the song now. So let's go to the next part. Oh. Now, because it is thrash, I wanted to do this growly thing. I'll do a little bit of growly thing. I'm terrible at it. But I'll show you what I do here, because it seems to be a thing now where everybody wants to do this growly thing, you know, like Cookie Monster. I can't personally say that if I did that well that I would be having an incredible talent. I would just be, I've got some gimmick thing going on, but I can do the gimmick thing. So I'm just going to, okay, I think this says Furnace of Affliction. So I'm going to show you what I did to make the growly thing. It's a multiple vocal thing. So this is just a vocal by itself. Here she comes.
Furnace of Affliction.
All right, so did everybody get that? I'll do it one more time for you because I don't do it too often. So this is a rare treat.
Furnace of Affliction.
I don't know if I go up again and say just the same thing over and over, it sounds like. Okay, now I'm going to play that with the music now, and you'll see how that comes in. My growly thing and then the high things. Here we go. Growly thing, high things. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm on fire, Shekinah glory. Yeah, okay, cool. So that was me going through the Perpetual Paranoia with you. Let's make sure I was still there. So what's happening? All right, Perpetual Paranoia, Hellfest coming out this year. Album cover is brilliant looking. We're just finishing up the drums on it. This particular song you'll hear probably in 2 years, finished. My vocals are finished on it, so whatever everybody else does on it is up to them. I did record I'm recording Iron 501. Maybe today. I might record that today. Because it doesn't take this type of vocal. It's not this screaming, aggressive thing. Iron 501 is a bass, a guitar, and a vocal. So if you ever heard of Royal Blood, they do that type of thing. Royal Blood does a 2-0 instead of a trio. But anyway, so that's what Iron 501's about, and that album will be coming out soon. And there's possibility that we might have some interest in the band rather than releasing it independently. We'll just have to wait and see. Some other good news. You remember my solo projects? The first one was Speaking to the Machine. That was an abstract acid blues CD. And then there was Dale Thompson and the Religious Overtones. And then there was Dale Thompson and the Kentucky Cadillacs. Now, those three are in some sort of work, so they may be reissued. We'll have to wait and see. Bride, what is happening with Bride? Bride's album is in Brazil. It's drums are being tracked on it. I heard a track this morning, just blew me away. It's called Here Is Your God. And Nanil, who mixed the last album and played a little bit of guitar on it, he is mixing and playing guitar and bass on the new Bride album. And it's with the same drummer, Alexander Poulsen, who is a Brazilian premier heavy metal drummer who is one of the most tasteful heavy metal drummers in the world. So he's playing on the Bride album. So with that said, I will come back on here in a week or two and let you know about certain things like my Dapster Gentleman project that I do with Miles Barfield, the Haunted No More project, which I'm very proud of as well. Shout out to We Are Resolute. They have just signed and are releasing an album which I provided vocals for. So watch for that. We Are Resolute. Don't forget that we have The World Will Burn. We still have CDs. Write to Alan Zering and get your CDs before they run out, because once they run out, we be done. And man, I recorded with Sovereign Cross. You're going to be blown away by Sovereign Cross, and also the Swingle and Thompson Ordained albums. Just I couldn't be more blessed. I mean, honestly. And I mentioned this before. Every morning, I have a day job. So every morning before I go to work, while I'm putting my boots on and I'm preparing to go out into whatever weather New Zealand is offering that day, my prayer is this: Father, bless me, watch over me, guide me, lead me, protect me. And Lord, continue to use me, continue to anoint me, continue to send me, and use me as that instrument and vessel of your peace and mercy, that I might present the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, to all the world. And ever since I started praying that prayer, ever since I prayed that prayer, or a modification of it according to what words come, I've been flooded and inundated with work, with musical work, with being able to write 400 songs in the last 2 years and record, being able to make all these new connections, being able to do these types of broadcasts. Otherwise, I'd just be reading my books and not doing anything. But I mean, it looks like that I'm, I tried to retire 6 weeks ago, but it looks like that I'll be busy throughout the end of the year. So as long as people keep wanting whatever it is that God is saying through me, and the music that He provides, and bringing forth incredible musicians for me to work with, I'll just continue doing what I do, and all thanks to you guys, because I'm not doing this for my health. This type of ministry, though I'm not on the road touring because I've retired from that, it does take away from your family time. It does take away from time that you could be actually productive doing other things like chopping firewood or something. But the reward of being in this position is beyond anything that I could ever hope or imagine. When I came to New Zealand, I basically thought my recording career was over, and boy, how little did I know that it was just beginning. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging with me and all that, and if all possible, support the projects that I do, and I know there's a lot of them. You only have so much money, and you have a lot of favorite bands that you like to support, but if you could just pick an album up, and listen, if you don't buy it, if you don't buy the album, right? Say you spent all your money on your favorite two albums. So you bought a new Stryper album and you bought a Bloodgood album, and you don't have any money left for Bride. At least visit my Facebook page and like something that I put on there, and then track it down to the YouTube channel and leave me a nice little note and say, "Hey, Dale, appreciate this song." For every artist out there, you would be surprised how often we check to see if we're relevant in the world. I mean, honestly, we're probably the most insecure people on all the planet as artists, musicians, and poets, and writers, and anybody that has some sort of contribution to the arts. God provides our needs according to His riches and glory by Christ Jesus. However, we struggle in a lot of areas, and we appreciate your encouragement and your support always. So, with that said, before I break into some other rant, thank you for joining me on this perpetual paranoia venting of the day. And I don't know how to turn this thing off, but anyway, thank you, and I will come back and see you at another juncture. Hopefully, it says probably you can't turn it that way. Anyway, no, I can't rotate it that way. Still on? Awesome. I'm still on.